Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with day 6 of Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. And today marks the changeover from my June How to Kill a Kit with Style kit, which was all Vicky Boutin all the time. And I've pretty much got it where there's no 12 by 12 paper left. There are quite a few embellishments, but I have found that the embellishments work well between collections, so I'm sure I'll be able to use it with the new collection when it gets released. So today is my first use of my new kit, my July kit, which is all Paige Evans. And I've got, today I'm working mostly with Horizon, and there may be 1 or 2 bits that get added towards the end that are from different collections. But the pen that I'm inspired by is by Kelly Day, Petals Day, who is on Paige Evans' design team. And this is a really intricate, beautiful layout. It's a Christmas layout using, if I'm not mistaken, this is Truly Grateful, which is you think of as a fall collection. Although it may be, yeah, this looks Truly Grateful. These alphas are definitely Horizon. Anyway, she's layered this star cut file on top of a white on white cut file with a little bit of rainbow paper showing around the edges there. And it's that idea of rainbow paper underneath the white that I'm being inspired by. Mine is not going to be nearly so intricate, but I'm going to use a cut file. It isn't one of Paige's cut files, or at least I don't know if it is, so I won't be putting it on her Facebook page. This is a cut file from Creative Cuts Club, and I guess, let's see, this is how it looked. It's a pumpkin, and when I got it back in October, we were still kind of going through. In other words, we didn't really have a Halloween around here because Ava was still going through her hospitalization and chemo and so forth. So a lot of stuff for the holidays, starting with and last summer, just simply didn't get scrapped. There were no photos. There were no good memories there. So I have cut the stem off of the pumpkin, and I'm going to use it with a photo. I had never seen this photo before. Ava's big sister Allie put this out on her Instagram, and I just love it. It's Ava's big old long ponytail. She's going down one of those inflatable slides, and the way the light is falling on her, you can see the reflection of her ponytail just flying in the air. So I just love the dynamic look of this, the fact that it just looks like it's moving. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to use this green background. And how I backed that cut file, it's got what it's got here are the rainbow colors underneath the white cut file. And I did that by gutting the center of this paper from the Horizon collection. And I think I have one more sheet of this left. Anyway, I gutted it and glued the file down on it, kind of cut around it, and left a lot of the leaves loose so that I could curl them up to get that dimension. And that left me with this outer part. So I picked the green background here. I'm not going to glue it on just yet because I want to do a little bit of mixed media. When I say a little bit, I mean a very little bit. I've got this stencil, which is one of her newest release stencils, and I want to put some gloss medium through it just to get a kind of a gloss imprint of that, almost like clear embossing. I don't want a lot of contrast, so there will be no contrast. So I'm just going to kind of do this just lightly through there so that I get a kind of just an impression of the flowers. That's really just a texture, and it doesn't really show floral at all, which is disappointing, but I'm going to stick with it because having it just look like kind of raised texture is still a look I think I will like. So I'm going to, while that dries, I'm going to clean this. Because it's medium, I actually can kind of use it as glue. So wherever my, the other pieces of my layout go on, they'll stick. This will help them stick. Okay, so I'm going to build this out before mounting it on there. So I want this kind of down here. Okay, so there's a little bit of this comes out. I'm going to go for that. I'm going to use, because there's some wet elements under there, I'm going to use a wet glue. And I've got foam on the back of that. I'll kind of do it this way. And how I chose the placement of that is that she has on a pink shirt that kind of goes with this this area, color scheme. So I don't want it right exactly on there, but in the vicinity is nice. So I'm going to do it like that and let it overlap. I've done a double foam backing on here so that it can overlay that. Let me kind of turn that and do this. Okay, that's the placement that I want there. The reason that I want it there is that I have this out of the scraps that were left when I gutted this paper. I put the round thing in there, and as I went around, I had these corner pieces left, and I made something of a kind of a banner section up here, and I thought that might be nice. I'm gonna go ahead, well, no, I'm not. I'll use tape runner for that. I think I'll let it overlap, and then I'll cut that overlap off over here. That's kind of an awkward little piece. Okay. The paper is warping a bit, and it's that warp that I want to, I want to see where that occurs so that I can do, so that when I glue it down on here, I can make sure to get all the warped parts and make sure it glues down really well, and this should help it unwarp, if you will. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. Now I'm going to start embellishing, and maybe the first embellishment I want to do is the title. And I like just the word we, W-H-E-E. So I don't have enough E's, I have one E. I thought I could do some surgery and maybe make some E's out of F's. But I think what I'm going to do is turn some 3's upside down. So I want to see what color 3's I have. I have this coral color and green. So my H needs to be maybe this pink and purple, and my W could be yellow. Here we go. Okay, so is that, let me, oh, no. Okay, there goes my texture that was there. I opened that as if it were this. And let me go here and here and here and here. And I really want to press that down. Okay, so I kind of like that they worked the words around the cut file. My cut file's a little different, so I could do the W-H-E-E here. That might be cute. And then the H is going to be this purpley one. That these colors do contrast nicely. I may have to pick those up and do a little bit of glue on them. Let me go ahead and do it now on the 3's because it's chipboard. Experience tells us that it will, in all likelihood, come off. Okay, it's not, the way these 3's are formed, they're not as easy to use as E's, but I don't hate it. I kind of looked at it and questioned myself a few times. Now there's a blue exclamation point I think I'm going to use, and I will do the dot here, and I'll get my tweezers to do that. You may be able to hear fireworks. It's Friday night before the 4th of July holiday, and the neighborhood is lighting up with fireworks. That's okay. The texture is kind of working there. I may do let's see if I can find where it is. I have some white ink, and I seem to have misplaced it. Let's see. Turn this around. There it is. I think I'll add some interest to this with a few splatters. Okay, maybe some here on top of these flowers. Okay, that's good. I like, now, I think I'd like to do this sticker says Born to Fly, and I kind of like that idea because here she is flying, and I think I'll put it on the photo overlapping there because that piece of the photo isn't really interesting. Okay, now I'm going to do a little embellishing, and I'm going to see what of my Paige Evans embellishments. I usually use the flowers first, and I notice in here there's this giant cluster of flowers and leaves. Let me see if maybe I could build a cluster here. There is a globe that's kind of not complete. I've also got this flower from Bloom Street. Let's see if I can use that. I kind of like those colors together. Let me put my alphas. I think I like those. I have the Truly Grateful and the Bloom Street alphas as well, but I think I'm happy with these. I have this, I think this is from a different collection, and even still yet different collection. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to do it on camera because each of these is going to have to be glued on because this is so, it's that old. I think I'm going to create an arch here that kind of goes around like that and breaks the line of this. This is from Whimsical, maybe? I think that's it. Let's see where my foam is. I got Whimsical and Horizon at the same time, and I have used them kind of interchangeably, even though the colors in Whimsical are a lot more pastel and they're more saturated brights. Okay, this one I think I'll use here. Kind of curl that up. This one here and here. Okay, that works. I've got some, I really wish I could find that globe. I could use any of the globes I cut out. This particular one, here we go. Okay, it's perfect for kind of inserting under, tucking under an upper layer like that, which kind of hides the torn part. And then I can do another embellishment kind of like this off to the side. And that gives it a touch of whimsy. Okay, is there anything else in here? I seem to have found quite a few small things that I was surprised I hadn't used. This is something I haven't used, and I know why I haven't used it. Maybe I can use this up here somewhere. This is just kind of so faded out, it doesn't really, I may try altering that somewhat. Okay, now I've got this little bowl full of buttons, and I thought where there are like colors in the composition, I could maybe add a button. Maybe right there for this lime green one. They're hard to handle, and there's definitely a right side and a wrong side. Okay, I've got this kind of pale aqua. There's really no aqua in there. There is a navy blue, so I'm going to maybe move up here and use the navy blue right there. Okay, there's a little flower-shaped one that is kind of orchid colored. So I thought I might put it right there. Okay, what's my next color that I should use? There's I was hoping for something in that. Okay, here is something of a coral. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it maybe right there. And it's really tiny. Okay, so I think that's all the buttons I'm going to use. I've got some white ribbon that I'm going to use for the banner, but again, I'm going to do that off camera. You'll see it when I post it in various Facebook groups. Let me put this ephemera back in here. Let me get some enamel dots and see if I can fill in some of the colors that didn't get acknowledged in the button distribution. So here is a kind of a corally color. Here's a paler pink. I think I have a nicer pink than that. I've got this orange, but I think that's a little too big. Maybe I'll use it right here. Okay, and here's another aqua. Here's a pretty blue. It's kind of big and it's not exactly the right blue. I have the navy blue covered. I have a puffy heart. There's a purple, but the purple's already kind of covered and taken care of there. I should be looking, what I'm looking for right now is a really nice pale pink. There are some pale colors, but that pink isn't the right pink. It's kind of more of a peachy kind of color. Ah, here we go. I saw it. It's slipping away from me. And with it is a nice blue. Okay, so I'm gonna go with this blue that's kind of large, and I'm gonna put it right in there at the tip of those leaves. This pink I will pick is gonna be a little bit smaller. There's room for a hot pink element, and I have a tiny hot pink that could go right in there. Okay, come on, stick. Stay on the paper, not the tweezers. Okay, that works. I'm going to put those guys up. And I will put a little bit of foam behind this guy. And that'll kind of help me figure out where to put that little banner. It has more pastel colors, paler colors than others in this collection, but all of these colors are in here, so I'm going to use them. Okay, what I probably will add after I turn off the camera will be, let's see, I have a few things. Let's see, I've got I See the World, Daydreamer, The Best Yet. There's a So Happy, but it's orange, and I've already used something orange. There's here's Whimsical. You Make Me Feel Alive. I like that. There's a really pretty butterfly. Here's some Bloom Street. Enjoy the little things, but that's kind of a large. Don't think I'm going to use anything there. It doesn't need anything, but if I found the perfect sentiment, I could probably find a spot for it. So let me turn the camera off. I'm going to, I'll kind of show you, whoops, that fell off. Is that one I intended to use anyway? Let's put it right there. That's a puffy. it looks like an enamel dot, but it's actually a puffy sticker. So now I think it's time to put this on the backing. It hasn't warped a whole lot, so I'm just going to tape it in the corners and edges there. Now, I turned it this way because it's kind of opposite to the way the pumpkin is turned, or the, you know, the circle. Because it has ceased becoming a pumpkin, being a pumpkin, since I pulled the stem off, right? Okay. And I'll go do this. This is not my favorite layout, I will tell you. I'm having trouble getting this to stay down. Let me do a little bit of surgery here. I'm going to cut that foam off so that it overlaps better. And I'll do some glue to reinforce what's already there. Let me make sure I get it kind of in the same place. Okay, there we go. I'm beginning to see the flower stencil show through, and it's not as ugly as it looks at first glance. So I may like it better as it dries more. I do like the white sprinkles, and I'm gonna go over here and place these, but I'll stop the camera now and I'll do a little bit of journaling around here, and then I'll put the banner up there with some ribbon, and then we'll call it a day. I someday will get brave enough to try to back 1,000,000 little stars with, I have another sheet of this paper, and I would love to do it just this way. And I thought this might be a bit of inspiration for how you can achieve a look you love with a little bit less time and effort. And I would love this cluster, maybe not on this green background, maybe a white background with that backing. And I could always lift it and put it down, or I could figure out something to do to make the green a little bit more pleasing. So, lesson learned. I thought a floral image on a green background with all the same colors in the floral behind it, the plain green, I didn't think would look good, and for as I look at it now, I know that it wouldn't, but I'm okay with it. So thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow with my next video. Bye.